Hello, I am Stephanie Joy, the attorney at All Things Social Security and Joy Disability Law. Your video is about to start. I just wanted to remind you that if you click the join button below, you can learn more about the memberships offered at a very affordable price that can give you a little more direct attorney answers to your questions. Have a great day and enjoy the video. All quick share from the SSA. It came out yesterday. It's just a little informational share they sometimes send, and I get them in the email. So I thought I'd swing it by those that it might affect. It's about remarrying and some of the things that can be affected. So they remind you that you can always change your name with Social Security if you're going to change it to your married name, if you're newly married. They remind us that you can start your replacement card application online, but then you have to visit a local Social Security field office or what they're referring to as a card center, which I've never actually heard of before. And that you might be able to self-schedule an appointment online to visit that office to show your original marriage certificate and complete that application. They go on to say, and this is really the more important part, how remarriage can affect different benefits. So the big one that everyone has to always be reminded of, if you're on SSI marriage, because now your unit of income has changed if your spouse has income, has resources, or, is working or otherwise has these things. Because remember, once we get married, we are now the dependent of our spouse. It's like a mutual dependency. We're both legally obligated. That's one of the legal obligations of marriage, taking care of each other financially. So whatever your spouse's income or resources are may be deemed to be part of you as a collective now. I know some people don't like that. They think it's a marriage penalty. It makes sense though. Can you imagine collecting welfare from the welfare fund SSI if you had a millionaire spouse? Would it be right for your neighbor to be paying that? And for your other neighbor who needs it to have even less because everything gets spread out? So if you think about it, it makes sense. It does. Because the legalities change, and who's financially responsible for him. Other ways to have relationships, put it that way. Okay. So you do have to report when you marry and make sure it's all covered, or you'll be stuck with an overpayment and a debt that might one day come out of your Social Security if you ever have Social Security. Okay, surviving spouse or divorce surviving spouse benefits, very important. If you remarry before age 50, you won't be eligible for survivor or disability benefits as a surviving spouse unless your later marriage ends by divorce or annulment. If you remarry between the ages of 50 and 59, you may be able to get benefits as a disabled surviving spouse or disabled surviving divorced spouse. If you are disabled and unable to work when you remarried and your remarriage occurred after age 50. If you remarry before you reach age 60 and that marriage ends, you will be able to get benefits on your previous deceased spouse's record. Your benefits may begin the first month in which the later marriage ended if all entitlement requirements are met. If you remarry after the age of 60, you may be eligible for survivor benefits on your deceased spouse's record or benefits on your new spouse's record. They do a little nice thing there when we hit 60. We can get remarried and still kind of keep maybe that old, wealthier deceased spouse's benefit that would pay us more than perhaps our current spousal would. Okay. Divorce spouse's benefits. Generally, if you remarry, benefits paid to you on your former spouse's record stop. And again, guys, this is going back to that person's no longer obligated to you. Sometimes when you're divorced, you get spousal benefits because we can't just cut off our obligations and by ditching a spouse and getting a divorce. If there's like a great disparity in wherewithal, income, etc. However, when you get remarried, you're now becoming that interdependent unit with the new spouse, and the other spouse is off the hook, and that applies to divorce spouse benefits. Children's benefits, under age 18 or a full-time student, that would be in high school, ages 18 or 19, that wouldn't be college, although they don't mention that here, but that would not include college. Under certain circumstances, we may be able to make payments to stepchildren of a worker who receives retirement or disability benefits. For more information about benefits for children, they tell you to visit this particular area of their website. Okay, so yeah, sometimes, you get married, there's a step parent, and sometimes that step parent's work record can be applied to the stepchildren. So there's a little bunch of nuances and everything else. So we wouldn't go into that very fact-specific reality, but it is something that is worth knowing if you are remarried and it's just now your spouse is a step parent or you're the step parent and you start collecting retirement or disability, and there are minor children or potentially disabled adult children. Okay. All right. That's their little share for the day. If the shoe fits, enjoy. Bye, guys. And if you're getting remarried, congratulations. Bye. Hey, so if the subject matter of the video you just listened to is of interest and you want more on it, stay tuned. Here's another one about the same topic, but a little bit different. Bye now. Hi, this is an important share pertaining to people who are married and seeking or contemplating a divorce vis-a-vis spousal benefits with Social Security. Okay, so the kind of incident I'm thinking of, and I'm sure it applies to many, and this is not to interfere with any divorce plans in any way. I just want people to be aware of something that they might have changed their course in terms of timing if they were aware. So in this case, have a person who was married for like 8.5 years, had a pre-existing live-in relationship for say 5 before that, but the actual marriage was 8.5 years, and the person did get divorced, and the divorce came through. That's important. At 8.5 years. I would say the last 4 of them were separated. Okay. That didn't matter. So what happens is when this person who incidentally then didn't work for the next, say, well, with a child, has not worked in say 14 years of a 16-year-old's lifetime. So this person, this parent, this spouse is not, for other reasons that I have a different video on, is not insured for Social Security disability if she were to become disabled because she hasn't worked recently enough. And I'll link something about that below. But here's the big take on the divorce issue. When the spouse, this particular person, hits retirement age, and her ex-spouse's retirement benefit is going to be, I believe, the maximum possible. Very wealthy income earner, while the spouse, meaning the person that I spoke with, was a low lifetime income earner and would have a very low Social Security benefit on her record. So the kicker is they were not married 10 years before that divorce came through. Had they been married for 10 years, when she hit retirement age, not only could she collect a divorced spouse benefit, which could be up to 50% of the ex-spouse's primary insurance amount, and it would be less than 50% if she decided to take early retirement. But assuming she takes normal retirement, 50% of that high income earner. So let's say that high income earner is $3,200. She could be collecting a $1,600 Social Security benefit on that ex's work record versus maybe her own, which would be $900. Okay. So that won't be happening because she divorced after 8.5 years. Don't know the ins and outs of divorces in all the different states. I don't practice it anymore. I used to do so a little bit in New Jersey. So it makes me wonder if sometimes it's better to have a separation that's longer and trigger the divorce at a certain time. I know people do it for other reasons, such as health insurance and all that. So something to think about. And here's another thing. When the ex-spouse, the big income earner, passes away, this divorced lower income spouse can collect a survivor benefit, a divorced widow's benefit off of the deceased ex's work record. And that would be his full amount. So she would then be living on $3,200 a month instead of her current $900. This can be really something that's implicated when a ex-spouse making the heavy bucks is a good deal older, and has a probably, just statistically speaking, more likely to pass earlier. So something to think about when you're getting a divorce under 10 years, over 10 years. Obviously, we've been married for 1 year. Who wants to wait 9 being separated? But certainly if you're close to 10 years, might be something to, consider along with all the other things you're considering. Just know that fact that is going to affect. If you are similarly earned individuals, spouses, not going to make a difference. So I wouldn't worry about it. But if it's that big difference in incomes, might be something to think about. Anyway, okay. Questions? You know where to reach me. Bye.